Darwin's caste system, bloodline pseudoscience in a lab coat. Descent of man rarely appears in a classroom because it burns too hot for the story that science tells about itself. The text doesn't whisper, it declares war. Darwin left behind the field notebook and drew a social map. Humanity was stacked in rungs, with white European men standing at the summit and every other people described as fading shadows. The work read like a manual for disappearance. Natural selection carried an imperial purpose. It provided a structure for identifying who would endure and who would be removed. Darwin described extinction as progress and framed it as the natural rhythm of life. He wrote that so-called savage races would inevitably give way to the civilized. That single word, inevitable, converted annihilation into destiny. His letters and notebooks repeat the pattern. He imagined humanity climbing toward refinement, with those considered primitive stranded at the base. The darker people were fossils in his imagination, traces of an older world waiting to be erased. This writing became a script for empire. Governors, generals, and bureaucrats could point to Darwin when drafting policy. Colonization gained a new vocabulary. Africa, India, Australia, and the Americas turned into laboratories for evolution. Under kings, conquest had been ordained by heaven. Under Darwin, it was endorsed by nature. The elite recognized its usefulness at once. Within a generation, imperial planners were quoting him as authority. Policy documents, research societies, and philanthropic boards all echoed his conclusions. Words such as displacement, hygiene, and education replaced massacre, sterilization, and child seizure. The violence stayed, only the language changed. Universities, museums, and courts synchronized with the doctrine. Darwin's cousin Francis Galton gave the theory its machinery. He constructed eugenics with the support of scientific societies, publishers, and financiers. Galton promoted selective breeding and proposed the removal of those declared unfit. He cited Darwin's ideas as the foundation for a new social science built on heredity. The two men shared more than family, they shared conviction. Galton built instruments to measure and classify. Intelligence tests, skull gauges, and family charts standardized prejudice. Investigation turned into administration. Science shifted from describing life to managing bloodlines. The privileged class embraced the result. Power now came with biological legitimacy. It could be traced, quantified, and taught. Divine right and military conquest were replaced by pedigree. Darwin supplied the framework, Galton operationalized it. Together they gave empire a modern face, efficient, hygienic, confident in its morality. Oppression spoke the dialect of research and progress. The system functioned exactly as designed.